Hello, everyone. And as you know, the season of Advent is underway. And to start, I'm just at one of my favorite spaces in town by the lake. It's just peaceful. And today, as we talk about the joy set before us, I just want to kick off by reading Hebrews 12, verse 2. And it says this: "Let us fix our eyes on Jesus, the author and the perfecter of our faith, who for the joy set before him endured the cross, scorning its shame, and sat down at the right hand of the throne of God." Advent is a season that invites us into the deep mystery of God's love, and it's revealed in the birth of Jesus Christ. As we prepare our hearts for the celebration of his arrival, we are called to meditate on his greater purpose behind his coming. The joy set before us is not only about the arrival of the Savior, but the fulfillment of God's eternal plan for redemption and restoration of all mankind. The verse from Hebrews 12 offers a profound insight into the heart of Christ's journey. It tells us that Jesus endured the cross for the joy set before him. This seems crazy at first. How could there be joy in the agony of the cross? How could the pain and suffering he experienced be connected to joy? It doesn't make sense. To understand this, we must look beyond the immediate idea of suffering to the ultimate joy, to the joy of knowing that his sacrifice would bring salvation to all of mankind. Jesus endured the pain of the cross, the rejection of humanity, and the weight of sin and death because he saw what was beyond it. A redeemed creation, a restored relationship with God, and a future where death would be defeated forever. In Advent, we are reminded that Christ's coming is not merely a historical event to celebrate, but it is a living reality that continues to shape our lives. His birth, his life, his death, his resurrection are part of the divine plan to bring us into relationship of joy and wholeness with God. This Advent, there is joy set before us. And as we reflect on the joy set before Jesus, we are invited to consider the joy that is before us today as well. Advent reminds us that joy is not just a future promise, but it is a present reality as well. We can experience joy today, in the midst of the hustle and bustle of the Christmas season, of buying gifts, of putting up the tree, of hanging lights, of fear over the conversations that may be coming with relatives throughout the month, of the pressures that you're facing as the year ends. There is joy. See, the joy of the Lord is not confined to the future or to the day that we get to heaven. It is available for us as we walk through the trials of life as well. Knowing that Jesus has already triumphed over sin and death in this world, we can then have joy. The joy before us is the peace of God's presence, the certainty of his promises, and the hope that he is making all things new. Just as Jesus looked forward to the joy of redemption, we can look forward to the joy of his return. Again, Advent is a season of waiting, and we know that we wait in the reality between Jesus' return once again that will restore all of humanity to the way that it was supposed to be, fully righteous before God. No more sorrow, no more pain, no more sickness, no more death. He will restore things and make every wrong right. This is the joy of Advent. The joy knowing that God is with us now and that he will be always and in his glory. So this is the invitation today. In this Advent season, we are invited to fix our eyes on Jesus as the writer of Hebrews encourages us. We are called to see beyond the distractions and challenges that we are facing today. And we are called instead to fix our eyes on Jesus and the joy that he brings us. The joy of knowing Jesus, the joy of being in relationship with him, and the joy of anticipating his return. Like Jesus, we are invited to endure the difficulties of life with hope and joy of what is to come. We live in the already, but not yet. We experience the joys and the pains of this life, but we also know a far greater day awaits us. And just as Jesus found strength and purpose in the joy set before him, today you can as well. As I reflect back on this year, it's been full of good moments and really challenging moments. And as the year wraps up, it feels to be a little bit more challenging than when it began. but I'm thankful that in the midst of it, I can have joy. And so today, join me just in praying this over you as you watch this. As we prepare our hearts this Advent season, help us to fix our eyes on you, the author and perfecter of our faith. May we find joy in the hope of your coming, in the assurance that you are with us now, and in the promise of the joy that will be ours when you return. Give us strength to endure the challenges of this life, knowing that the joy set before us is greater than any trial we face. We thank you for the joy of salvation, and we eagerly await your return. Today, at the bottom of this video, you'll see a few questions. I encourage you, grab a friend, grab somebody you know, walk through these together and see how you can experience more of the joy of Jesus in this Advent season.